Yo guys, welcome to a brand new video. Today, I'll be showing you a build using the Mask of Fealty exotic helmet that released with episode Revenant. I think I may have cooked up something a little different than other builds using this helmet. This build is more designed for Grand Masters and spamming supers and prismatic and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully it's unique. I'm not 100% sure, but this is all of me just messing with stuff, and this is what I cooked up. So let's get into it. I want to get through this first section a lot faster than normally I do in these builds because I don't want to yap on forever. We're going to be using Silence and Squall, Gambler's Dodge, Triple Jump, Withering Blade. You have to use Withering Blade for the helmet. We're using Dustfilled Nade just to freeze combatants. Winter Shrouds, whenever we do dodge, we get melee back, but also we'll slow them, if not freeze them if they're already slowed a little bit. We're also using Gunpowder Gamble. You will get to spam the hell out of this a lot. For our fragments, we're using Facet of Dawn. Obviously, we're spamming melee, so we'll have Infinite Radiant. Facet of Purpose. With Silence and Squall, we'll have basically infinite Frost Armor. Facet of Grace, whenever we get kills with our bad Juju, we'll get a Transcendence Energy. You'll see in the gameplay, I was able to Transcendent every single phase I was able to use Transcendence. It's absolutely insane. You could probably go Transcendent 8-9 times during the run, but I had a Titan on my team during the gameplay you're going to see, so I was kind of holding it in places. But you can use Prismatic a lot. Facet of Protection, it says DR. I think it's, what was it, 15% and then 25 in Prismatic. I forget what it is, but it is really good DR. Facet of Ruin, this is going to buff our Withering Blade shatters for the helmet, also increase the ignition size of our Gunpowder Gamble, and then Facet of Hope whenever we have a buff. So we'll have Frost Armor and Radiant, basically infinite, so we'll be able to get our class ability back because we have a lack of mobility. Starting with the helmet, Mask of Fealty, this dropped with episode Revenant. Whenever you hit a target with Withering Blade, it'll create a Stasis Crystal, and then you hit that crystal with another Withering Blade, it'll break and then shatter into other Withering Blades. Very nice. It's very nice for GMs, especially for massive packs. Absolutely shreds them. Also, if a target is frozen and you shatter them, it'll do the same thing. This helmet was bugged originally because I believe it was the frozen targets weren't making Withering Blades, but that has been fixed. During a GM, I noticed that you mainly only getting the refund a portion of the melee energy part of this, which is still very nice. If you have teammates that are slaying out, this helmet does start to fall off quite heavily, and you'll see that in the gameplay that I'm going to show you. But you still get that melee refund, so you can still spam melees a lot, so that's always nice, especially when you're in Prismatic. But there's definitely some gameplay that I have where you can actually see the helmet doing the actual shatter effect with the blades. It is very nice, but we're going to be using hands-on, dynamo, and then a connect siphon. On the arms, we're running double hands-on to make a ton of orbs, and then we're using focusing strike. On the chest piece, I'm using concussive dampener, an arc resist, and a void resist. For this week's GM, it's Birthplace of the Vile, so I would run double void. For the boots, we're running recuperation. This is our only form of healing for the most part, so that's why we want a bunch of orbs, and we're just spamming our dodge as much as possible to stay healthy, especially in Birthplace of the Vile where it's brawn, so you don't actually regen HP. That's going to be very nice. Invigoration, just to help get those melees back, and then Absolution to recharge all of our abilities. And then we have on the cloak, Reaper, obviously we're spamming our class ability along with Powerful Attraction. We'll be picking up all those orbs to heal, Invigoration, Absolution, all of that stuff using that. And then Outreach just to get that little bit of extra melee energy so we can basically infinitely spam these Withering Blades as much as possible. And for the weapons, in our main slot, we're using Bad Juju. This got a buff with episode Revenant. Basically, when we're using this thing, we're going to be getting a ton of super energy so we can spam our super. But since we have Facet of Grace, we're also going to be able to spam Transcendence, which is absolutely insane. This build is very strong in that aspect. We're using Velocity Baton for the overloads, but also I have Attrition Orbs on mine, so we'll be able to create a ton of orbs that will also help with recuperation and also get our super back, and then all those other mods that we need orbs for, making a ton of orbs with this thing. I actually found myself mainly using this thing the entire run, but even then, even if you're not getting kills with Bad Juju, you still will spam your super, because super energy is ridiculous right now. But yeah, Velocity Baton's good. If you don't want to use Bad Juju, you could also use Lost Signal in this slot and then use a different pulse rifle or whatever you want to use. For the heavy, I didn't really use it that much during the run, but it's just to have it in the backup. I have Envious. Well, I have a Chill Inhibitor, sorry, with Envious Explosive Light. There is the bait and switch roll. I prefer the Explosive Light roll for when we're like running through the GM, because in Birthplace of the Vol you can basically just run through it the whole time because you just kill everything so fast. I like to be able to just pull it out and then just burst damage the champion or whatever target I'm shooting at really fast. So I find that this roll is good. But if you want to use the Envious bait and switch roll that Banshee was dropping, then yeah, just use that. These are artifact mods that I'm running. The main two you're going to want to go for: Brain Freeze, Hail the Storm, Served Cold. You're going to get a lot of use out of those. Rapid Impacts and Concussive Reload's going to be nice for your GLs. You could run Kinetic Impacts as well if you wanted, if you want to have an unstopped stun that way. But I'm not too worried about that. Unauthorized mods, that's how we're running 2 hands-on mods on our gloves, because that makes that 1 point. Rapid Final Blows gives you armor charge, so it's just more there, and then more orbs there. Fellow the Revenant's going to be very good for this GM, because it's Scorn, so that's always nice. But yeah, just use these, and you'll do good for this build. Alright guys, that's the build. That is my version of the Mask of Fealty build. And like I said, this build is more designed for Grandmasters. So in these builds, I want to start doing more Grandmaster footage. So I got another build coming to you guys for Warlock. That'll be the next video. But until then, let's get into the gameplay.